Hey guys, what's going on? RJ coming back at you with another King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match Online video. Today I wanted to do a character introduction video for somebody that we are not going to see on Global, probably for, I'd say, another 6 months still. But the reason I'm doing this early is because I want to give you guys the heads up so you know what's coming ahead of time and you know who to save for. And so today I'm going to talk about Instinct Iori. He's absolutely amazing, and the reason I'm getting into him is because he will replace Ignis in the Genesis formation. I want you to know if maybe he's a good idea for you, or maybe you really love Ignis and you'd rather keep your Ignis and S-Max him. But if maybe you're like me, I'm waiting for this guy because he's amazing. So let's get into him. Here he is here. Oh, thank you for the bow, sir. So he looks awesome right off the bat. I think you'll notice right off the bat he's an aptitude 15. Really cool artwork that they put out here for him. He has a ridiculously high damage rate. His resistance rate is actually really good, considering he's a DPS. He also has pretty high crit power and pierce rate. His feature is Tear Body Soul Smash. That sounds great to me. He's gonna rip everybody apart, and he won't just rip them apart, he will smash their souls. So that's a good thing. So when we get into his fates, he has himself there, and then there's Flame Kaio, who comes out even further after Instinct Iori, so not easy to complete that one, plus Ash, who's another API 15. That's kind of a hard one to complete. Down here we have Instinct Iori, and Crazy Iori. Lots of Iori action there. That one shouldn't be too hard to complete. And then the third one, super easy, Ryo, Terry, and Kim. Pretty sure we all got those guys by now. He also uses Orochi badges and Street Fight tomes. So don't trade those in yet, because your boy here will need them. So we go down into his skills. His small skill, 100 type cut. Attack a single target, absorbing target's 8% HP and 200 rage. Whoever it hits is going to have their skill damage decreased by 50% for 2 rounds, which is actually pretty huge. If you've seen any of my arena videos, some of my anybody really, Ash, Terry, Robert, they have really damaging skill moves. So I mean, reducing that by half is that's awesome. And this, the reduce rage and the HP drain, that works just the way like Crazy Iori's skill works. It happens after the attack, also like Ignis, but there's no burn. So like in peak battle mode and stuff, this guy is going to be top pick, because he's going to reduce rage as the last attack, and heal himself. So it's a really amazing skill. With the attack enhancement, it's really nice with him. He gets the damage and health, not just one or the other. He gets both. That's kind of a nice thing to have. His ultimate, I'm not even going to try to say that one. But anyways, he absorbs targets 15% attack, defense, damage, and resistance rate. Like, he steals everything. Deals massive damage he ignores block and resistance, just like an S-Max Terry. You can't block it, you can't resist it, and there is a 40% chance to prevent the fighter, if they are killed by this ability, from resurrecting. So what that means is, say he kills Omega Rugal with his ultimate, there's a 40% chance that your Omega Rugal, who has a 100% chance to revive, will not revive. So that in itself it is really a huge ability, something that has been missing on global, something that will help slow down Omega Rugals. This is the point in the game where Omega Rugal starts to fall off a cliff, because most of his power comes from his ability to resurrect all the time and save your team for that one extra round when he hops back up, and this prevents it from happening. You awaken it. I don't have his weapon, obviously. You awaken his weapon. These stats will all go up. I'm pretty sure the chance to prevent the resurrection goes up as well. And it also prevents transformation, transforming. So that would actually apply to a character like Mei Li, who transforms into superhero mode. But I guess if she's dead, she won't be transforming anyways, right? But anyways, and then when certain requirements are met, there's a interconnected skill with Flame Kaio. Again, he's not going to be out for a very long time. But I've seen a video of it. It's not like the Karate Bro team up. It's nothing to write home about. If you're not really paying attention, you're probably actually going to miss it. But anyways, really awesome ultimate, does tons of damage. It's something else. It's a thing of beauty. And then you get into here, his passive, Power of Origin. And I mean, this is the part where he replaces Ignis. He increases your front row fighter's attack and your back row fighter's max HP, which seems backwards at first, but when you think about it, really, this is awesome, because it means your back row fighters that are kind of squishy, they're going to get extra health, and your front row guys who probably have a lot of defense stats are going to start doing a bit more damage. So I kind of like it. I like it like this. If it was reversed, I think it would make your back row too glass cannony, turn it into glass cannons. If Flame Kaio is deployed on your side, the effects are reduced by half. We'll get to what the effects are, but don't worry about that for now. Each round, dispel a debuff, freeze, paralyze, dizzy, silent, soul burning on a random fighter on own side. So he does the same thing as Ignis right here. He gets rid of a debuff every turn. And when deployed, if more than 2 of a certain fight soul exists on your team, he gets all the effects of that fight soul. Just like Ignis, it works the same way. You need 3, like 3 tigers, 3 tortoise, 3 snake, 3 bears, and he will turn into that fight soul with them, right? But he himself has his own captain skill here, and when deployed, if more than 2 of a certain fight soul exists on your team, increase your team's 40% block rate for 2 rounds, cannot be used at the same time with Ignis. So he's going to be giving your team that 40% block rate for 2 rounds. Ignis actually, because his starts at 40% and it'll go up to like 60%, right? His is just a flat 40% block rate, because when you level up his skill, it's not going to increase block rate, it's going to increase the damage for the front row allies and the health of the back row allies. And I mean, this isn't something to ignore. You're looking at almost a 20% health increase for your back row. That's a huge boost to your back row damage, and an almost 12% damage increase on your front row. That's pretty good as well. I mean, anything over 10% is really good. So really, overall, it's a lot of text to read, but just wait until I get into his gates, because you think this is a lot of text. Oh my goodness, you're going to see. And then down here, he's got a unique fight soul. He's called the Origin Soul, and he will recover 180 rage every round, and he will also recover health at the start of every round. So that will definitely help him deal with any type of burns or anything that get applied to him, because he's just going to recover his health instead of just permanently lose stuff, right? So it's actually a really good fight soul. To compare with Ignis, Ignis recovers the rage every round, but instead of recovering health every round, Ignis just gets a flat attack boost. I can't remember how much it is, but it's not that much. It's a couple thousand attack. It's 150 times the level of the fight soul. I don't feel like doing math. 3,000 attack. But anyways, much better than Ignis in just about every way, shape, and form. And I'm going to jump over into his gates just to show you guys why this guy will replace Ignis on just about everybody's team. Everybody's going to go for this guy. Expect a crazy draw. So when we go into his 8 elements, I'm just going to preview everything, obviously. First of all, let's check out his passive and what happens here. So he still increases the attack and health for your team. Still talks about the Flame Kaio thing, which we don't really need to get into too much. I'll talk about that when I make a Flame Kaio video, later on. It's not that big of a deal to worry about right now. You don't need Flame Kaio in this formation. It's just if you have Instinct Iori plus Flame Kaio, because of what Flame Kaio does, these effects need to be cut in half. Because Flame Kaio does something similar, but he has the same conditions on him that if Instinct Iori is with him, his passive gets cut in half. But it evens out. It's just so that you're not double stacking buffs, sort of a thing. But you can still use them together, but you don't have to use them together, which is really nice. Gives everybody a little bit more variety. But the biggest thing with Instinct Iori, with his Lake Gate, is right here in the Dispel debuff. The list now reads Freeze, Paralysis, Dizzy, Silent, Soul Burning, Petrification, and Confusion. Petrification is something that will come from Mukai, and until Instinct Iori's second gate, there is nobody that can get rid of Petrification. And then Confusion comes from Magikai. He's a tank, and it is a very annoying skill to have put on your fighters. And again, Ignis will not dispel Petrification or Confusion ever. Instinct Iori, with his Lake element, is the only one in the game that will get rid of these buffs or debuffs on your team. So that right there is huge. And then it changes here as well with the Captain skill. When deployed, if more than 2 of a certain fight soul exist on your own side, so you're still making a Genesis team, increase all teams' 35 resistance rate for 2 rounds. So you're at this point 35% resistance rate. That looks more like a 4 souls buff, eh? It changes from block to resistance rate, which is really amazing. And then beyond that, he also takes over all of the Captain abilities right here as well. So your Chrysalid, your Terry, your Nameless, your Adele, their Captain skills become absolutely useless with this Lake element. Because if there's more than 2 Viper Souls, The entire team will get a 20% small skill rate for the whole battle. And their small skill will also absorb a small amount of health from the target. If you're running a tiger formation, your fighters on your team will all get an increased 20% crit rate. If you're running a turtle genesis, after round 3 forward, round 3 and on, your whole team will get the unyielding effect, where your damage increases by 30% for the rest of the battle. And again, right here with if you have more than 2, or if you have 3 or more bear fighters, it increases your whole team's rage recovery rate by 20% for 2 rounds. And it states right here, though, that Instinct Iori Captain skill cannot take effect at the same time with other Captain skills, and Instinct Iori Captain skill will take priority. So if it doesn't mean you can't use your Captain anymore. It just means that their Captain skill buffs will no longer work, and it will be Instinct Iori putting in all the work for you now. So if you're running a Snake Genesis and you want to get rid of your Chrysalid, because he's kind of one of the weaker captains, it's great because you can just kick Chrysalid off your team and throw somebody else in. So this it's a mouthful to get through, but basically it allows Instinct Iori to get rid of any type of debuff. And it causes him to, give you the 35% resistance rate plus whatever captain skill you're going to need for your Genesis team. So he kind of does it all right there. And then when we get to his small skill, this kind of gets out of hand. Attacks a single target, absorbs 10% HP instead of 8, and 200 rage. Struck target will have 80% decreased skill chance. It's not just the damage now, but now they're losing chance to even use their skill, reduced by 80% for 2 rounds. That's crazy. And this attack deals 50% extra damage against flame fighters. And if Ash is hit, Iori will release his full potential, continuously attack, dispel all flame effects, and Ash loses flame ability for 2 rounds. This is very anti-Ash. It's anti-flame fighters, but it's very anti-Ash. He's going to start taking down Ash real easy. So that's actually a really good gate as well. And then we get into his S-Max for his ultimate, which turns into the Maiden Masher again, back from the other thing that I couldn't pronounce. But now it will absorb 25% attack, defense, damage, and resistance rate, deals massive damage to the enemy, cannot be blocked or resist, and fighters that are killed with this skill cannot resurrect or transform. There's no percentage. If he kills somebody with this, they're gone. That's the biggest boost in all of this, because it was 40% before, now it's 100% chance to deny the resurrection. And on top of that, there's a 30% chance to prevent targets that are hit with this skill from resurrecting or transforming. So if your Omega Rugal gets even hit with this, there's a 30% chance that he will not resurrect. If Mei Li gets hit with this, remember that stupid example I used, but now, if she just gets hit by this, 30% chance that her superhero mode won't go off. That's a really match-altering ability right there. And then we'll move on, because I don't need to go on and on about it too much. When there is only one target and it is a leader of the King of Fighters, trigger combination skill with, I think that's supposed to say Flame Kaio, which negates block and resistance. These are who they consider the King of Fighter bosses: Orochi, Rugal, Gonets, Zero, Chrysalid, Ignis, Rugal, Mukai, Magikai, Ash, and Adele. And you get the following effects depending on Instinct Iori's obtained Fight Soul. So if he's a Tiger, he will get 15% crit power for 2 rounds. If he's a Viper, he will increase 30% small skill damage for 2 rounds. If he turns into a Turtle, he recovers 12% of his max health. I think that's when he uses it. And if Instinct Iori has a Bear Soul, he recovers 200 Rage. So I mean, every time he uses this ultimate, you know, if he's a Turtle, he'll get 12% health back. If he's a Bear, he'll get 200 Rage back. And for these other two, for Tiger and Viper, that'll activate a buff for 2 rounds every time after he uses his ultimate. I mean, there's not much that this guy doesn't do. This is why I'm doing the video so early, because he is somebody that I think is worth saving for. Even if you're running an Ignis right now, you know, it's getting to the point in the game where we got to start thinking about second teams. And so if you have an Ignis like I do, but not really a leader for your second team. I mean, on my second team on Global, I'm running kind of like a bear, just a wild bear team. But once Instinct Iori comes out, I mean, Ignis can move to the second team and Instinct can take over on your main team. And then if you eventually get rid of your captain or whatever, you can move your captain to your second team with Ignis, right? So you don't really need to waste. It's not like it's a waste or you're going to have to throw a bunch of fighters in the dumpster over him coming out. It actually just kind of diversifies your roster. So overall, he's an amazing fighter. Not sure, maybe I'll just do a quick little fight. We can see him in action, because that would be pretty cool to see him do something. Ooh, is this, oh, look at these guys. Hey, he's got an Instinct Iori too, a Magikai, a Mukai, a Goniko. This is a great guy to fight. I think I'm probably going to get my butt kicked, but let's just see what happens, right? I just want to see these ultimates go off. See, there's the Petrifies. That's crazy. Let's see, is that... Yeah, see, Mockery, where it said Mockery there, that's Confuse. That's Confusion. Oh man, I'm getting destroyed. And I think we're going to see an Instinct Iori ult coming up here next. Almost there. There we go. So there, did it on, I don't know, I don't think that guy probably has the gate opened yet. But if my Instinct or my Omega doesn't revive, we know why. Here we go, we're going to get another one. I love that ultimate. It looks so cool. They did a really great job with the artwork on that. Hey, I'm not doing too bad. So, as expected, I got worked, but we got to see some cool alts. So, that's about it for this introduction to Crazy, or Instinct Iori, not Crazy. He is one bad man, and beyond that, he's got a pretty cool fashion too. So I hope you liked it. Hope I've given you a bit of insight, so you guys kind of know what's going on and what to save for. And this guy, like I said, he will probably be coming out maybe in about 6 months' time on Global. I think he was released about a year after Ignis's release on this Southeast Asia server. So there it is. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you save up for your Instinct Iori. Have a good one, guys. Later.